What's going on, you guys? Hope y'all are having just a lovely day or evening or whatever time you're watching. I'm going to break down something today in this video about mindset related, and it's going to be to do with the right kind of mindset to be having when when your top priority isn't the fitness, but you're working around your business and career demands to be improving your physique, maintaining your physique, whatever it is. If you're looking to gain muscle, get stronger, just maintain, lose fat. That's what I'm going to be breaking down. This is going to be mindset related. It's going to have to do with the level of how you have to balance, discipline and adaptability, right? Balancing just being disciplined, staying consistent with a plan, and balancing where you're keeping a level of balance and adaptability, balancing your fitness with work and business and anything else. Okay, that's what it's going to be about. And I'm also going to show you the contrast in terms more the athlete mindset or an all or nothing type of approach. There's a contrast, and everyone's balance level is going to be a little bit different based on their priorities. Okay. Hey, so thanks for tuning in. I'm going to try to keep this short today. We'll see. I always say that. And please subscribe if you aren't already. If you are subscribed, thanks so much. Please like and comment. I'm on Instagram too at Nick Venuto Fitness. Let's get right in. Okay, guys. So you know this is for most people. Most of us were not athletes. Fitness and improving our physiques is not our top priority. The top priorities are in maybe not necessarily in this order, but career or business, then family and friends, or you can separate those two, family and friends. Um, those are more the top type of priorities, and you got to balance the fitness and the work that you do to improve your physique, to be fit and healthy, to get stronger, to get leaner, to gain muscle. You got to balance that work you put in the gym and with your meal prepping and eating and your lifestyle. You got to balance it with everything else. Okay, and everyone's priority levels are different, but there's always just a level of balance where you kind of got to fit fitness in with between everything else you got going on. Okay, with that comes where you've got to have a balance level between discipline as well as with adaptability. Adaptability, I'm using that interchangeably with kind of an ability to balance fitness with everything else. Discipline is going to be like, it's just, yeah, I've got the plan, I'm going to follow it, screw everything else. That's what's going to happen with your fitness plan, where whatever it is, could be with how many days a week you work out, could be with what your meal plan is in terms of what you're going to eat when, and in relation to I eat this before I work out, I eat this after, and at these times. All right. Discipline is like you fall in lifestyle too. If I go to bed at this time, I am not on my screen for 2 hours before bed. I wake up at this time, you know, like discipline is you follow those kinds of things to a T. It's written, you follow it, screw everything else. Okay. That's discipline. The thing about with adaptability and just balancing fitness is you kind of weigh all the priority levels you have, and you have to gauge just make adjustments as things come up, and just based on maybe one, fitness is something you have to fit more in with everything else, or it's not the top priority, in other words, or maybe there isn't really a top priority, but you just kind of have to kind of go with the flow a bit more versus just making X happen regardless of whether Y, Z, or B occurs, right? So that's one thing with it. It's just with you have deviations from the plan where you have to adjust things. It could be with the workout side. With one week, you normally work out 3 times a week. This week, that's just not going to fly. You got to condense your split to 2 workouts, or you got to just straight up split a work. Just whatchamacallit. You got to straight up just skip a workout. To work out at different times. Maybe you have a 3-day split. You're going to keep up with 3 days, but one of the days you're just going to work out at a different time. You're not going to have quite as much time for that workout. You got to go through it quicker, or you got to condense it a bit. Okay. What else? With the nutrition side, maybe your schedule normally you have 4 meals a day. You got to skip a meal a certain day. You're just too busy one day in your office. You got to meet a client, or you have to eat differently that day. You have to meet a client for lunch. It just would look bad on you if you're bringing your Tupperware with your chicken and rice, whatever your programmed meal is, right? So you've got to make an adjustment, and you're going to eat lunch out that day when it's not normally programmed. And you got to maybe even adjust things going forward then, just to kind of stay on track of that, or it's just going to be a cheat meal day. That's that. With lifestyle, you have to work late. You have to get something done for a client has a timeline, or you just have a timeline, or your boss gave you a timeline for something internal, something that's just BS, bogus, stupid assignment, but it's just how it works. So you're not going to go to bed at 10 p.m., whereas you normally go to bed at 10 p.m. You're going to have to stay up till 11 or later. You're going to have less sleep the next morning. It's, you know, maybe you're not going to do your typical routine the next morning. You're going to sleep in a half hour to an hour later. Still get to work on time, but you're not going to have your typical routine in the morning. Um, with whatever it is you do, whatever your morning routine, if it's taking a walk to start your day or doing a little bit of cardio on a stationary bike, you got your pad, journaling, reading, you got to skip that one more, that's with adaptability where that comes in. You have to balance these two things. Now, if you're too adaptable, well, this isn't really adaptability, but if you just are too much of just everything else gets in the way with balancing things and you don't get anything, you're not working towards your goals with fitness at all, or if you're just not quite doing as much as you should be to really get to things in a realistic time frame, that's a problem. All right. With discipline, if you're just such a stickler. If you just do everything in set times, you always get your workouts in, even if you're hurt, even if you realistically could just use some extra rest. You just constantly eat the same things. You never have time where you just live a little and either go out to eat with your friends and family or entertain a client. Um, for most of us that aren't athletes, that's a problem too. There's a balance level between those two. It's going to be different for everyone a little bit. It's going to be different based on priority levels and goals, how quickly you want to achieve things, how big of a goal is it, how hardcore of a goal it is. Okay, everyone's got to figure it out a little bit differently for them, but you just got to be cognizant of it. And that's part of the reasons of having a plan that's going to be realistic for what you're looking to do and has a level of sustainability as well as adaptability where you kind of have contingency options of here's how I can handle things if this comes up. If I got to work an extra day of the week, if I have to work later one night, all this different stuff, whereas guys, so I've talked about that we got to each find our different balance levels with this stuff, okay? Whereas athletes it's an all or nothing type approach. They have an event, a competition, a meet, whatever it is, and they have timelines that are set for one that are more stringent. They have more hardcore of goals, whether they're looking to crush their big 3 lifts in their powerlifting meet, they're looking to bring their best package to the stage in a bodybuilding event, whatever it is, basketball, whatever, championship game, they have timelines they got to meet. They're hurt, they're not feeling good, they're going to keep practicing or they're going to have to do aggressive rehab procedures to try to be good for that event, whatever it is. They take more of the all or nothing approach and they balance everything else around these events, their sporting events or their goals or whatever it is they're trying to achieve. And it's a totally different mindset. And you don't need to have that kind of attitude or mindset to be doing well with your goals. If you're just a regular type of person, you're not, and you have to more balance fitness with everything else. Okay. And athletes will tell you they give up certain things in order to get to those kinds of stages. They have to make sacrifices. Okay. And you have to make sacrifices too, but it's not as much. That's all there really is to it, guys. You got to have a level of balance with the discipline, with the adaptability. The adaptability has to do with balancing the fitness into all else you got to do with work, business, family, everything else. All right, versus the all or nothing approach, where more, your fitness is more the more the cornerstone. Then everything else has to be come around the cornerstone. All right. So hopefully that gives you some insights and stuff, and hopefully this was helpful for you. Thanks for watching. And guys, again, if you're not subscribed, if you are subscribed first, thanks so much. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I share a lot more knowledge to help you that are balancing fitness around everything else you got to get done. And what else? I'm on Instagram too, at Nick Venuto Fitness. And if you could use help with just putting together a plan and executing that plan and getting all the pieces together with the workouts, with the nutrition, with the lifestyle and anything else, can use help with that, and you can use a coach and are ready financially to invest with coaching, I'm dropping my Calendly link below, and feel free to just to book in a call, and if we're a good fit, awesome, cool. Anyways, guys, thanks again. Hope you have a great day.